Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku Prayer, please stand. 高天原にかむすまります。かむろぎかむろみのみこともして、すめみろやかむいざなぎのみこと、つくしのいむかの立ち花の、おどのあがき花にゆきそぎ払いたもうときになりませる。払いどのお神たちもろもろのまがごと積みけがれを払いたまえ清めたまえとまおすことのよしをあまつ神青よろずの神たちともに雨の藤駒の耳振り立ててきこしめせとかしこみもまおす弥勒オムニ神守りたまえ先生えたまえ弥勒オムニ神守りたまえ先生えたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先生えたまえ教えによや主の神へ守りたまえ先はいたまえ Kannagara tamachi haemase. Kannagara tamachi haemase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we lead your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei.
Meishu-sama, bless you.
Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. Courtesy. Inner awareness allows us to act freely, naturally, and with ease, yet still live in accordance with God's law. Let us never stray from the right path. May we follow the law of nature and perform our tasks. If common courtesy is lacking, free thought and action become a fallacy, a pretense. They are not a measure of our true freedom. Social faith tends to be lacking in freedom, and Daijo faith has unlimited freedom. However, freedom unrestricted by one's wisdom and reason may lead to self indulgence or willful and capricious freedom. We should seek to balance these two principles of freedom. True freedom has to respect the freedom of others, and therefore is not without limits. Freedom, in the true sense of the word, has its boundaries. If you even slightly inconvenience or harm another, you feel unease, guilty, and cannot be free and at ease. If you give happiness and joy to others, then you feel happiness and joy. This is true freedom. A person's destiny is given by God at birth. It is predetermined, so it cannot be changed. Fate, however, can be freely changed by an individual within the limits of his or her given destiny. Depending on a person's efforts, it is possible to reach the highest level within that range or to drop to its lowest level. Freedom is similar to fate in that true freedom is contained within certain boundaries. There is no such a thing as limitless freedom. True freedom has limitations. That is, it is finite.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters. This morning, I would like to share the faith experience of Marileia de Souza Martins from the Braga Johrei Center, Portugal. Marileia has been a Johrei member for 47 years. She belongs to the Braga Johrei group and she opens her house every Friday night for Johrei gatherings. In November of last year, she had the opportunity to participate together with her husband in the National Members Conference in preparation for Sama's birthday service held from their headquarters in Portugal by video conference with missionaries from all over the country. The seminar began with the guidance of their head minister, Reverend Carlos Lucio, And then they watched several videos about Meishu-sama's life and work, having Meishu-sama as a model of paradise. They listened to a selection of excerpts from the teachings where Meishu-sama talks about the way he tried to improve himself throughout his life. Afterwards, the participants were divided into study groups and led by the ministers. They went deeper into points that they need to work for their self-improvement as instruments of Meishu-sama. In her reflections and afflictions about her financial difficulties that they have been experiencing in recent times arose immediately. So Maria thought, oh, this is what I have to work on, my self-improvement, my attachment to this situation. Because in my heart, I know that it doesn't solve anything to be anxious. Meishu-sama even tells us that worry is the opposite of faith, but it appears involuntarily in me all the time. It is a constant suffering for me. When it was her turn to talk during the roundtable discussion, Marilea immediately, oh, Minister, I want to eliminate this affliction that I have in my heart. I need to improve my faith in this regard. And the minister replied, read the teaching of me God revealed to Meishu-sama regarding the day, every day, until Meishu-sama. She replied, oh, very well, minister. After a while, she thought that as it was only 21 days, she could do it something more. So she decided to read 21 teachings a day for the next 21 days. So she started that day right away, and she recognized that in the first days it was not that easy. She had to take a piece of paper as a bookmark every time she read a teaching, so as not to get lost and also to fulfill the defined objective and keep her motivated. The days went by, and reading ended up becoming easier and easier to the point that she even looked forward to this challenge. For the second week onwards, she started to sleep better all night long, something that a long time. Also, she often used to go to the restroom at night, and now she can sleep straight through. She believes such difficulty was the result of constant concerns. She has had diabetes for many years, which is now under control thanks to God and Meishu-sama. But when the night comes, her eyes start to get red, tears come out, and they itch, which makes her very uncomfortable. Second week of practice of reading the teachings, she no longer has this discomfort and thought, I'm receiving a lot of Johrei through the written words, and therefore my eyes have improved. It's been over a week since she has had an eye discomfort. Incredible. She has had this for years, every single day of recent years. The third blessing she received is that she feels much calmer. Those daily intense and constant worries disappeared. She feels a sense of well-being and she's not as agitated as before. Her husband told her that even her way of speaking has changed, something softer. Her other problems continue, but she's no longer suffering every minute of her life. So she does her part and hand it over to God and Meishu-sama. She feels like she's in a dome, protected from worries, and her desire to dedicate to divine work has increased even more. Marilea learned from this experience that we must be obedient to the guidelines and this practice of our faith. Thus, the results come no matter how difficult the situation. She was also allowed to truly understand this guidance of Meishu-sama in a teaching saying for us to renew our. The human being must constantly seek to develop and improve, especially those who have faith. Later, she understood the meaning of the words of her head minister. The responsibility for our improvement and development is totally ours, and is not possible to delegate it to someone else. Excuse me. That is, even if she does not have full control and cannot solve all her problems, as some of them do not depend on her alone, her responsibility, as demonstrated in this faith experience, is to improve herself as an instrument of God and Meishu-sama, that nobody can do that. Her goal is to continue the wonderful dedication of opening her house every week to receive people, but now with another understanding and responsibility. Manila is very thankful to God and Meishu-sama for another learning opportunity towards her spiritual growth. Thank you very much for joining this morning service. I wish a very wonderful day and looking forward for your attendance in our upcoming daily services as well. Thank you very much.
This brings to a conclusion of our morning service. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a blessed day.